Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Rabbi Isai, we're holding in the beginning of Perek Ha'arva HaRoitev. We're talking about Tuma. Tuma, we're Tamei today. Dead people are very super Tamei. Dead animals are less than dead people, but they're very Tamei. They're Avatuma. Dead people are Via Vaisatuma. And it goes down in levels. So a person who touches a dead person, who goes to a funeral and touches a dead person, he goes from Avia Vaisatuma, the dead person, he drops down one level, he becomes an Avatuma. If he then touches something else, that becomes a Rishon. Avatuma that touches something, Rishon. If a Rishon touches something else, it becomes a Sheni. And a Sheni that touches something else, Shlishi. Fine. It stops eventually here. This is the whole list. The dead person, all the way, it's steps. It works in steps. So the top level, boom, down. Now, in order for food, let's say a Rishon touches food, becomes a Sheni. In order for that food to become Tamei, it has to be a certain size. The size of an egg, a kibeitza. Whatever an egg is. Now, can the egg could it be susceptible to Tumah if the egg itself doesn't have a real kibeitza, just the yolk and everything is 3/4, but together with the peel, together with the outside, it's a kibeitza? The answer is yes, that's called a shomer. The protector, even though it's not edible, the protector is part of that beitza. How do we know? That's today's sugya. Different words, lachem, different things. There's another thing we're going to be discussing, is the yad. So here are the shomer and the yad. Shomer is a protector. So you have a large bone that has bone marrow in it. So the actual bone is like wood. Wood is not edible. Wood is nothing. The bone, the wood part of the bone, if it's that of a pig and you eat it, you're not over. So it's nothing. So what is it? What is it? It's a protector of food. A protector of food doesn't actually, it's not mitzdaref to the kibeitza, but it could be a channel, it could be what's the word I'm looking for? A transmitter, a conduit. Thank you, a conduit to bring the tumah through. We'll look at tumah as electricity. It'll go through that handle and be matama something. Okay, that's called a yad. Let's do it again. Yad. I guess I skipped the video there. Yad is a handle. A handle is not a protector. So when we're talking about lamb chops, the bone of the lamb chop doesn't protect, there's not a lot of marrow in there, so it's not protecting anything. So what is it? It's literally a handle. Check this out. If you have a piece of tamei meat, and there's a handle, and that handle touches a non-tamei fruit, the fruit will become tamei through the handle. What's the reverse case? Here's the reverse case. You have a non-tamei piece of meat, but a very tamei object touches the handle. Boom, yeshmak. So it's a conduit, and the electricity, the tumah goes through that conduit, through that handle into, so a handle could receive tumah, it's machnes, and it's moitzi. Okay, machnes means it goes in, from the outside in. Moitzi means if it's already tamei, it goes out. Yes, understood? Zakti Gemara, Tanin la Tarabana. Shoimrim, what's a shoimer? Again, so we're talking about two things today, that's it. Only two topics. Shoimer is a protector, like a piece of skin, like a eggshell, like a walnut shell. A what?
Orange peel.
An orange peel. No, orange peel, not sweatable. And then we're talking also about the handle. So the shomer, we said, what makes more sense that should be part of the fruit? The protector of the fruit or the handle of the fruit? What makes more sense should be mitzdaref to the fruit? The protector.
Without, there's no fruit.
Right. Okay, Yimacham to the Gemara. The protector makes a lot more sense. That's part of the fruit. That it should be mitzdaref. Okay, great. So Tanin la Rabbanan, shoymrim l'tumakala. When it comes to food, tumakala, to food, then the protector is part of it. But when it comes to avat tumah chamura, like a nevela, giving off tumah, then the protector is not part of the nevela, as we'll see. So now, step by step, we have to go through the whole thing is really step by step, all the way, Talmud Beis. How do you know that food, tumakala, food, could use the protector, the shell, the hide, whatever it is, to be part of it and to be mitzdaref and make a full share of a kibbutz? The Tanei Rebbe Shmuel, I'll call Zera Zerua. We're going to be learning this pasuk a lot today, and this is the famous pasuk that has to do with Hechsher.
Skip to slide 26.
I don't even know what I'm saying. Who knows what I'm saying?
Really?
Yes.
Tell them they can watch nothing but the daf. They can learn the Gemara.
Hello, I got to talk to you about nothing but the daf. It's crazy. People that watch nothing but that, they don't see any AI videos. Throw one in, the good ones. You got to throw the good one in.
They do.
Okay. Oh, we said, what does it say? We learned that a sheretz that touches food, it falls on the food that was susceptible to tumah. What's the word the guy used? Activated. You activate the tumah. So, but it's similar to the way people plant. How do people plant? Chita b'kli pasa, usar b'kli pasa, atashim b'kli pasa. Here I have some wheat. You don't start taking the seed out. You throw the whole thing with the shaft into the ground, and it grows. It does its job. So Mela, the shomer of the wheat, the peel, is part of it. V'loi shomer l'tum chamur minal. But how do I know that the peel, the hide, does not work for an nevela? If you have a half a kezayis of a nevela plus the hide, you don't have a kezayis. You don't use the shomer. Tanur Rabbanan, because I learned bin v'lasa. So that word is extra. Why is it extra? Because if you look at the pasuk, it says v'chiyamas. The thing is dead. Dead as a doorknob. So then why do you have to say hanegea bin v'lasa? Just say hanegea ba or hanegea yitmad arev. What's bin v'lasa? So we learn from it v'loy bar she'enol kezayis basar, and not to hide that doesn't have a kezayis. The Gemara is going to explain because it doesn't really make sense what's going on here. Yochal hanegea keneged basam achayrav. So what does that mean? Just in simple English, if you touch, right, this is the kibbutza, the circle of the kibbutza, you can try to use the hide, but I just threw in the arrow there because that's where he's touching. He's touching the hide from the outside. He shouldn't be tamei, the extra yud, it should say tamei, it says yitma from the yud. Great. My karma, what are you talking about? If it doesn't have a kezayis, we're talking about it doesn't have a kezayis. On the one hand, you said if it doesn't have a kezayis, it doesn't combine. And then you said if it doesn't have a kezayis, it does combine. It does become tamei. What's going on? Some people say without a name, nameless. It's actually missing a word, and everything will be understood. That what? If it doesn't have a full kezayis and you add the hide to it, it's not enough to make it the shear. But what if it does have the whole shear? What if in this picture the red meat was more than a kezayis, and then you had a piece of hide and you touched it where the arrow is? I would think that you're not tamei. Why are you not tamei? Because maybe there's a protector to the tumah. It's like a piece of rubber, piece of plastic in between. Maybe what? The chatzitza, exactly chatzitza. Maybe you shouldn't be tamei. And it doesn't even act as a handle. Because if it was a handle, of course it would come. Maybe it shouldn't act as a handle. Okay, so from that extra yud, I learned that you do become tamei. Rabbi Isai, we're starting a brand new sugya. Then also, kol shu yad v'loy shomer. If you have something that's a handle, that's not a protector. What's that? What's a handle, not a protector? So going back to the lamb chop handle, it's not protecting any marrow, so therefore it's not a shomer, it's not a protector. All it is, it's a simple handle, like a handle of a hammer. Like it's a good example I thought about during the Hebrew shir, like ices. You eat ices on a stick. So this a popsicle. So the stick is mamish a handle to the food. Then awesome. So let's just go back to this beautiful picture. I love it. It's tamei, meaning it. Tamei umatame. Tamei means it brings in. Metama means it, metama, right? Metama means it makes something else tame. So if you put an orange that's tar next to it, it will be metame. It's moitzi. Tame, it receives the tuma. Veinu mitzdarif. But this handle cannot be used to say, oh, it has the whole shear of a kibetza, when it doesn't, and using the handle as the shear. It doesn't work. Shomer, on the other hand, shomer is much more sensitive. Shomer, as you all said before, that the protector of the fruit, without a protector, you don't have a fruit, so the protector is part of the fruit. So therefore, shomer, even though it's not a handle, it could be used to receive tuma, and also to be metama other things. And if you don't have a whole shear, together with the peel, it's a full shear, and it's good to go as tuma. Lo yad v'lo shomer. But if you have something that doesn't act not as a handle or nor as a handle, neither as a shomer, like here, it's not a shomer and it's not a handle. You don't eat meat holding onto the hair, or let's say a tiny little bone. Lo tame v'lo mitame. Through that hair, it's not a conductor, it's not a conduit of tuma, so it can't go in either direction. It's not moitzi, not machnas. Yodois. Now, fine. So good. Next, now we need to know, where do we see this concept of handles? Where does it say in the Torah anything about a handle? Again, the Hechsher L'Kabel Tumah pasuk, it says, it shall be tummy to you. Lochem, what does lochem mean? L'chol tzorchechem. Everything that you need. L'chol tzorchechem. What does that mean? All your needs. This comes to include handles as well, that tuma goes in or out or both. Let's see. Uchsiv, we have a second pasuk. At the end, we're going to have three psukim. So it says, again, once again, it says the word lochem. For all your needs. Again, for all your needs. Again, lochem. So we have two lochems. The rabbi says sayados. Again, it's going to come to teach us the handles. So why do we need two psukim? Yad lahachnis ulahoitzi. One pasuk teaches us that the tumah goes in through it, and the other one that the tumah goes out. Shomer lahachnis ulahoitzi lo tzarich kra. And the fact that a shomer protects. We were talking about yad over here, but a shomer lahachnis lo tzarich kra. We already established that a handle, which is less, and that's what Gemara is going to say over here. What's a bigger chiddush that it's susceptible to tumah? The handle or the protector? That the handle is susceptible to tumah, that's a bigger chiddush because it's less part of the fruit. The protector is more of the fruit, because without the protector you don't have fruit. So now that we learned that handles, the tumah goes in and out both directions, we're holding. Shomer lahachnis lo yitzi lo yitzarich kra. Why don't we need a pasuk for it? Kal v'chaymer miyad asi. If a handle is able to bring electric in and electric out, tuma in, tuma out, a hand doesn't protect the fruit. Nevertheless, we just established from the two psukim lochem that it could receive tuma and tuma goes out. So certainly a protector. So I don't need a pasuk for a protector. So then why is the Torah said about kol zera zerua? Why does the Torah talk about a shomer if I don't need the pasuk? From there I learned the idea that the shomer, the protector, could be part of the kibetza, mamish like an egg. If you need the size of an egg, you can use the shell of the egg for the egg size. Says Gemara, maybe I need the pasuk because who said maybe when it comes to food, it could go in, but it can't go out. Why? Shomer lahachnis, but a protector. In other words, a yad, you'll say it only goes one direction. It'll come in, but it won't go out. Shomer lahachnis loitzi. But the protector, because of the kal v'chomer, it could go both directions. Aval yad loitzi, b'shomer letzaref loy. So it looks like the Gemara repeats itself. In other words, how do I know? I still don't know that a handle could extract, that tumah goes out of it. And I still don't know that a shomer is mitzdaref, because I'm going to say that shomer is lahachnas u'lahitzis. I don't have a place for a shomer that it combines. Says Gemara, yad lahachnas v'loy lahitzi le'motzes hamres. You can't say that a handle could only receive tumah but not take out tumah. Hashta yuli maila apuke mebaye. If the handle could take in tumah, so certainly it should take out tumah. If it goes inwards, it certainly should go outwards. Ve'ema yad lahitzi v'loy lahachnas. It'll go out, it won't come in. Shomer lahitzi ulahachnas. And the shomer, the protector part, can do both. It'll be mitzdaref to lahitzi lachnas. Aval yad lachnas, again, we don't have a raya for yad lachnas. We get yad will be lahitzi v'loy lachnas. Aval yad lachnas, no. V'shomer l'tzaref, no. We still won't have a source that a protector could be mitzdaref. It could be moitzi, machas, but can't be mitzdaref. Says, well, okay, fine. Yad yatir ksiva. Now we have, by klicheres, we have another thing. It says, Tanam Mikrayim Yudat, lochem, l'chol shebezochechem. Third time, we have another lochem. The rabbi says, hayodos. This comes to include the handles. Haiminam yater. Which one of these is extra? So we did it very, very simple. It's mamish for people like me. Here, these are the three sources. Zraim, Nevela, Tanner. So when it says, why do I need? Maybe. Learn from one. Take Zraim, say the idea of Yad over there, and I'll teach the other two. So they're extra. No, you can't learn anything from Zraim. Why? Yad yatiruksiv. There's an extra. Which one? Just say Zraim. When I learn these two, the Tanner and the Vela will learn from Zraim. And therefore, those psukim are extra. And then I can learn other stuff from it. Seeds have a special thing that they could accept tumah from even a rishon, whereas other things, like a Tanner, cannot accept tumah from a rishon. It has to be avat tumah. You need like a sheretz to go in it. The sheretz is avat tumah. It needs the sheretz to go into the ear space. But if, let's say, a rishon touches the Tanner, no, it doesn't become tumah. So, okay, fine. So you can't learn from Zraim anything. So, says the Gemara, let's learn the two other things from Tanner. You see on the chart, Tanner. Tanner should be our teacher. And we'll learn the other two things from it. No, can't learn anything from Tanner. Why? Crazy halacha that if a sheretz doesn't even touch it, it just goes into its ear space, becomes tummy. Especially can't learn anything from it. Says the Gemara, look at the Nevela. Now let's learn those two guys, Zraim and Tanner, from Nevela. The what? No, you can't learn from Nevela. It's so powerful. Nevela could make a person tummy. And it could also be metama when you pick it up. Tuma, and it itself is inherently tame. It doesn't receive tuma from another source. It itself, as it died, it becomes tame. So okay, right? You can't learn if the teacher is one, no good. But what if you have two teachers? You do this. Two of them, two guys, teach one thing. You're going to take a combination of Nevela and Tanner. Both of them have the concept of Yad. Zraim also. Hey, Taisi. You should learn from Nevela and Tanner. You should learn Zraim. No, you can't. A Nevela, you don't need Hechsher Tumah. You don't need to put water on it or the mashke on it. But Zraim you do. Can't learn Zraim from them. Okay, so now the Gemara just goes on a tangent, a little off course. We're coming right back in one line. No, I don't like your answer. Why? It's not true. The fact that fruit need a liquid to become susceptible to tumah is similar to a tanner, which we're learning it from. A tanner also, what's the point of Hechsher L'Kavat Tumah? Mushal L'Kavat Tumah means I'm done. I'm finished. It's makim patish. It's ready to be eaten by pouring water. Tanner also, you need a makim patish. Fine. So you're right. So let's do another. Okay, it's not a good tchia. I have another way to. Without touching an nevela, it becomes tame. Without touching a tanner, it becomes tame. You don't have to touch it. Just the sheretz in the ear space becomes tame. But a zraim, you have to touch it in order to become tame. Says Gemara, here we go. Look at this. We got nevela and zraim on the chart, and let's learn. Let it teach us tanner. Says the Gemara. A nevela is meat, is roim, is fruit, they're food. So let's do this. So what do we have here? You're right, let's learn nevela from Tanner and Zroim. No. Yeah, okay. So therefore, Yad and nevela lamali. Hold on, Rabbi, we'll shmooze afterwards. The handle of nevela, this idea of nevela, what do I need if I can learn nevela? Look, I'm learning nevela from Tanner and Zroim. So the pasuk, the third pasuk that I have for nevela is extra. What do I do with it? So from there I'll learn the idea of yad and by food that what? Lahachnas. So nevela we have like this. Yad lahachnas, yad lahoitzi, shoyim l'tzaref. And the protector is to make it a full kibetza. But I do need the word yad, oive. Fine. No, it's not extra. I need the concept of handle by nevela. So I won't if I need it for something else, I won't have a source. Lahachnas. I need a special pasuk by nevela. Why? Because I can't learn nevela from the other guys. We know that a nevela could make other people tummy. And if you learn from a tanner or a zroim, you can't learn that concept of tumas adam. So I do need it. But the protector, the fact that a protector, I don't need. Why? Why does the Torah talk about a protector of a nevela? Either it's the roof to tell you that it's part of the nevela and it could be a kezayis with the nevela. That we already established that the protector and the nevela don't go together. And that the nevela could push out tuma with the protector kavachomer miyadasi. That we already know. That if a yad, the tuma is a conduit, that a yad is a conduit for tuma, so certainly a protector is. I don't need it for nevela, but it's there by the shomer nevela. So what do I do with it? So teach us to handle nevela. So it's interesting how it starts, right? I have it by a shomer and nevela. I don't need it over there, so give it to the yad and nevela. But I don't need it over there, so use it for the yad of regular food. And so and for what? Yad lahachnas, yad lahoitzi. Yad. So now I have a source for yad lahoitzi. That I learned from Zroim. Now I have a source for yad lahachnas. I just learned here from this shomer and nevela guy. V'shomer l'tzaref. Ask the Gemara that give you chazam the beis. Ve'ema imenu inyan l'shomer the nevela inyan l'shomer the alma. Show me the lahachnas, show me the tzaref. But maybe maybe I won't learn lahachnas. Our whole assumption was wrong. We said the first pasuk was to teach us lahaitzi. No, the first pasuk to teach us to take in. Why? Because that's the whole pasuk. The whole idea is that a sheretz falls on food. When sheretz falls on food, is that lahaitzi or lahachnas? It's lahachnas. It's receiving tumah. Fine. So bottom line is, what do we have? Anybody? You want to help me out here? How do you know yad lahachnas? That was the original pasuk. Lachem. Because that's what we're talking about. Yad lahaitzi? How do you know yahaitzi? That's from a kolchkin. So no, the pasuk, when the animal, the sheretz falls on food and gives it tumah, that's lahachnas. I'm putting tumah into the food. Lahaitzi is a kolchkin. So that's how I know Yad Lachnis, and that's how I know Yad Lahaitzi. Now, how do I know the concept by a protector? A protector, Lahaitzi and Lachnis, knew a kulch came from Yad. So now everything makes sense. It starts from Yad Lahachnis, I go to Yad Lahaitzi. Once I had the Yad Lahaitzi, then I can learn Shomer, because a protector is much more, makes a lot more sense logically that a protector should be conduit to Tumah if a Yad is a conduit to Tumah. A Yad we learn from Apostle. So certainly a Shomer. Great. Elo, Shomer d'Nevela Lamali Ligufei. Why do I need the pasuk to talk about a Shomer of a Nevela? For itself. But why? Either it's the roof to tell me that it combines for Tumah, Amris, Lemon. The hide of an animal together with a shtick of the vela doesn't go together. And to tell me they're coming out, that I already said that a shomer, if a shomer is a protector, should, if a yad works, so certainly a shomer should work. So the Gemara says, oh, you're right. Sometimes, yeah, I could use logic. You and I can figure it out ourselves. Sometimes the Torah goes out of its way and says it anyway. So if you're going to say such a thing, so the regular protector, I don't know. I don't have a pasuk anymore to tell me that things are mitzdaref. Why? Because I'm going to use it for something simple that I know logically. But sometimes the Torah uses. In other words, I don't have a source for tziruf. If I could use it for something simple that I could use, I could have figured out myself logically. But I want to waste it, so to speak, on something simple because because of the Qur'an. So you want to know, midrash, if you could use that word for something good, something positive, something like to say that something is mitzdaref, let's use it for that. If you have nothing better to do with the word, so then you'll say, okay, because of the crow. Check this out. Look at this. Oh, Rav Chaviv Omar. Okay, so we're going back to what we said before. That what? That what did we say before? That for Tumah to come through the handle, to go in, that we learned from the Nevela. But you asked me why, isn't it better to learn the Shrimer of Nevela? So isn't it better to learn something that protects food rather than the handle of food? The Shrimer is better. It's something you should learn from the Shrimer, not from the handle. So he says no. When it comes to Nevela, there is no food. Nevela is not food. The only thing Nevela is a handle. Rav Chaviv Amishani Shrimer the Nevela, given the Maisiyat Kavid. The shomer nevela acts as a handle. There's no shomer. What is he protecting? It's dead. So it's a handle. The whole limud is on a hand. Another sugya, really. This is a new sugya. This is mamash agadata. Check this out. A picture that I believe they took here in the kollel. Because, well, this picture is for sure from the kollel. And made it into our Gemara. It's a similar picture. Maybe it's not the same picture. Okay. A pomegranate has something called a pitum, like an esrog. And eventually it dries up. So on Rosh Hashanah, when you open up, if you look closely, you'll see like a stick in there, like a little tiny stick. This pitum, together, let's say the actual pomegranate is less than a kibetza. So with the pitum, it's a kibetza. We can use the pitum as a tziruf. It's mitzdaref to the kibetza. But the little neitzes guys, neitzu arimayim from Shir Shirim, those little guys, that's not mitzdaref. Why? Because those guys are on top of a peel. So it's a shomer agavi shomer. So it's a shomer on top of a shomer. How does this pitum on top of the pomegranate, how's it mitzdaref? Because there's a ruah, it has to be something that you plant. Rashi explains, it's not something you plant. By the time you plant it, it's dead. How is the skin? How is mitzdaref akepo? Mitzdaref l'tam t'mzoich l'menolon. So the Gemara real quickly. Let's see that there's 3 psukim. I'll call zera zeruah sheizareh. It says the word zera 3 times. Chad l'shoyim d'zroim. One is come to teach us that the protector of seeds. And one is talking about the protector of trees, in other words, like the pitum. The other one is the protector of meat, eggs, and fish. And that's how I know that all these things are mitzvah to the shir. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. Let me take
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDY.com.